A man who's never held political office before becomes our president. It describes Donald Trump's rise to power.
But it was also the case for about 150 years ago for one tri-state man who occupied the White House as well. Jordan Burgess takes a closer look this President's Day at what we can learn from his time in office.
Ulysses S. Grant went from this small White House in Point Pleasant to the White House. And the steps on that remarkable journey have something to show us even today. It may sound familiar, a man running for president because he doesn't trust the politicians in Washington.
The reason he accepted the nomination of the Republicans in 1868 was because he thought the politicians were going to not bring the country forward into a new birth of freedom.
Like Donald Trump, Ulysses S. Grant was a man who used his celebrity to propel him to the highest office in the land.
There are over 300 known photographs of Grant, which was more than any living human being in the 19th century. The paparazzi loved him.
Of course, he hadn't come by that fame easily.
Lincoln is given most of the credit for ending slavery, but it was really Grant and his armies that made it happen.
Grant served 2 terms as president, although those years have always been overshadowed by what he did as a Union general. But Greg Roberts with Historic New Richmond says people are starting to make a closer examination of Grant's time in office.
Modern historians are looking at Grant in a different light in terms of what he stood for and what he accomplished.
Roberts says Grant did much to keep the country together after the Civil War while pushing it forward.
He was committed to not only ending slavery,